I stopped getting compliments on my hair 3 years before anyone told me why. Nobody said a word. They just started complimenting my scarf, my earrings, anything but my hair. If your hairstyle hasn't changed since your kids left for college, it might be quietly aging you more than any wrinkle ever could. Today I'm walking you through the specific hairstyles that are working against you right now, and exactly what to ask your stylist for instead. Real, specific language, not vague advice. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The length that's pulling your whole face down. Here's something most stylists won't say out loud. Hair that falls past your shoulders with no shape does more to age your face than gray ever could. It's not the gray. It's the weight. Long one-length hair pulls at the face, drags the eye downward, and flattens everything that used to have lift. I know that sounds dramatic for something as simple as length, but the physics of it are real. Heavy hair has nowhere to go but down. And down is the last direction any of us want our features heading. Recognize this one? You kept the length because it felt safe, because it felt like you, because cutting it felt like giving something up. I get it. I kept mine long for years past when it stopped working, because every time I looked in the mirror I saw the woman I used to be, not the one actually standing there. The problem isn't sentimental attachment to length. The problem is nobody explained that as our face changes, our hair has to change with it, or it starts working against the very structure it's framing. So here's the fix, and I want you to remember this exact phrase for your next appointment. Ask for a long layered lob with internal layering starting at the cheekbone. Not just layers. Stylists hear that word constantly and it means nothing specific. Internal layering means the layers live inside the hair, invisible from the outside, doing the lifting work without changing your overall length dramatically if you're not ready for that. The cheekbone starting point matters because that's exactly where gravity starts winning on a mature face. That's where you need hair moving up and out instead of down. What this actually does, it removes weight from underneath without removing length from the ends, so the top and sides can lift again. Ask your stylist to point cut the ends rather than blunt cut them. Point cutting creates soft, textured tips instead of a heavy, straight line, and soft tips read as lighter, younger, more movement-friendly at any length. Here's the part that actually surprised me when I finally made the change. It wasn't the compliments on the haircut itself. It was that people started making eye contact with me differently. When hair falls flat and heavy, it pulls the whole face down with it, and people's eyes follow that downward pull without realizing why. The moment there's lift and movement at the cheekbone, eyes go up to meet yours instead of drifting down. That's not vanity talking. That's just how faces read to other faces. A woman named Carol in one of my comment sections put it perfectly. She said her hairdresser cut in the layers and her husband asked if she'd done something with her makeup. She hadn't touched her makeup in months. The snapback moment is this. Layered hair doesn't just look different, it makes your bone structure visible again. Cheekbones you thought had softened were just buried under flat hair the whole time. So the swap is this. Flat, one-length hair past the shoulders traded for a long layered lob with internal layering from the cheekbone and point-cut ends. Same length if you want to keep it. Completely different effect. And once you've fixed the length problem, there's a second mistake almost every woman with this haircut makes at the exact same appointment. One that undoes half the lift you just paid for. Part 2. The color placement nobody explains properly. This next one isn't about length at all. It's about where the light hits your hair, and almost nobody explains it in plain terms. A flat, single-process color, even a beautiful one, sits on the hair like a coat of paint. It reads as solid, heavy, and here's the part that stings a little. It can look like it's trying too hard to hide something rather than enhance what's there naturally. You've probably felt this without being able to name it. You get your color refreshed, it looks freshly done for about 4 days, and then it just looks like hair color, rather than your hair. Flat, uniform color has no dimension. And dimension is what makes hair look like it's catching real light instead of sitting under salon light. The recognition here is quiet but real. If your hair color looks the exact same in every photo regardless of the lighting, that's usually the tell. The fix, and again, I want you to actually remember the phrase. Ask for face-framing baby lights with a root shadow 2 shades deeper than the mid-lengths. Baby lights are finer, more delicate highlights than traditional foils. Thinner sections placed specifically around the hairline and temples, where the light naturally hits your face first. The root shadow matters just as much. Keeping the root slightly deeper than the rest stops the whole head from looking artificially uniform, and it also means far less maintenance between salon visits, since a soft shadow root grows out gracefully instead of leaving an obvious line. Here's why this combination works the way it does. Baby lights near the face lift and brighten exactly where eyes naturally travel first, your face. The deeper root grounds the whole look so it doesn't float away from your natural coloring. It looks like hair that's simply catching sunlight, not hair that's been chemically altered. Ask your colorist specifically for foils no wider than a pencil at the hairline. That width detail is what separates baby lights from regular highlights, and it's worth saying out loud in the chair. The snapback result here is one I didn't expect either. Dimensional color doesn't just look more natural. It makes skin look more lit up too. Flat, dark, uniform hair color pulls all the visual attention to itself and away from the face. Dimensional color does the opposite. It frames the face like light does, instead of competing with it. One viewer told me her dermatologist actually asked if she changed her skincare routine. She hadn't touched a single product. She'd just gotten baby lights. There's a second layer to this that matters just as much as the color itself. Gloss. A clear or slightly tinted gloss applied after color adds shine that flat color alone can't replicate. And shine reads as health in a way pigment alone never does. Ask for it every single time you get color done. It's usually a 5-minute add-on, and it's the difference between hair that looks colored and hair that looks alive. So the swap. Flat, single-process color traded for face-framing baby lights, a deeper root shadow, and a gloss finish. Small changes, disproportionate effect. But even with the right length and the right color, there's a third mistake that quietly cancels both of them out. And it happens every single morning, not just at the salon. Part 3. The part that's working against your whole face. I want you to think about the last time you actually changed where your part sits. If you can't remember, that's the point of this section. A center part that's been sitting in the exact same spot for 20, 30 years stops being a style choice and starts being a habit. And on a mature face, a rigid center part can visually lengthen and narrow the face in a way that reads as tired rather than elegant. This one's sneaky because it feels so neutral. A center part seems like the safest, most classic option there is. But safest and most flattering aren't the same thing. And the honest truth is that center parts work best on faces with a lot of width to spare. They visually slim. Most of us don't need more slimming through the center of our face as we get older. We need more width and softness, not less. Here's the exact phrase for this fix. Ask for a deep side part with a swept-over curtain fringe blended into face-framing pieces. A deep side part immediately adds width and asymmetry to the face. Asymmetry reads as more natural and more youthful than perfect symmetry, which is counterintuitive but consistently true. The curtain fringe, swept rather than blunt cut, softens the forehead and creates movement right where a center part used to create a flat, static line. The blending matters as much as the fringe itself. Ask your stylist to blend the fringe pieces into longer face framing layers on both sides, rather than cutting a separate, isolated fringe. A blended fringe moves with the rest of the hair instead of sitting like its own disconnected section. That blending is what separates a modern curtain fringe from an obvious, dated bangs look. The snapback moment here is genuinely one of my favorites to talk about. A deep side part with a soft fringe doesn't just change your hairstyle. It changes the entire geometry other people read in your face. Width where there used to be narrowness. Softness where there used to be a hard line. One reader wrote in and said a stranger in line at the pharmacy told her she had such a striking face. She said nobody had used the word striking about her in a decade, and all she'd changed was her part. There's a small but important maintenance detail here too. A deep side part needs slightly more root volume at the crown to hold its shape, so ask for a light root perm or Velcro roller blowout technique if your hair tends to fall flat by midday. Without that support, even the best deep side part can slide back towards center by afternoon, which undoes the whole effect before anyone even sees you. So the swap, rigid center part traded for a deep side part, a swept curtain fringe and blended face framing pieces. It sounds like a small adjustment. It reads as a completely different face. But there's one more habit left, and it's the one almost nobody blames for aging their hair, because it happens after you leave the salon, not during your appointment. Part 4. The styling habit: undoing everything you just fixed. Here's the uncomfortable truth I saved for last. You can get the perfect cut, the perfect color, and the perfect part, and still look older than you need to if you're styling your hair completely straight and smooth every single day. Bone straight, glass flat hair is stunning on some people, but on a mature face it can flatten volume right at the crown and temples, the exact areas that need lift the most as we age. Smooth isn't the enemy. Flat is. I know this one might sting a little, because so many of us were taught for decades that sleek equals polished equals put together. And it can be at certain ages in certain contexts. But as the face softens with time, hair that's pressed completely flat against the scalp removes the one thing that visually counteracts that softening: volume. Without lift at the roots, even a beautifully cut, beautifully colored style reads as heavier and older than it actually is. The fix, and this is the phrase to bring to your next blowout. Ask your stylist to show you a root lift blow dry using a round brush lifted straight up at the crown, then finished with a cool shot set. Root lift is exactly what it sounds like: volume created at the base of the hair, not just at the ends, and it's achieved with the brush and dryer position to pull hair straight up and away from the scalp at the crown specifically, not just brushed through generally. The cool shot finish matters more than most people realize. Once the style is dry, a blast of cool air locks the shape of that lift in place before you ever leave the chair. Skip it, and the volume you just spent 20 minutes creating can collapse within the hour. Ask specifically for the cool shot step. Not every stylist does it automatically, and it's the difference between volume that lasts through dinner and volume that's gone by lunch. The snapback result is simple but real. Volume at the crown doesn't just add height, it adds the illusion of a lifted face overall. When hair rises instead of falling, everything beneath it, brows, cheekbones, jawline, reads as slightly lifted too, purely through visual association. It's an optical effect, not a physical one, but it's remarkably consistent. A longtime viewer told me that after she started asking for root lift specifically, her granddaughter asked if she'd done something to her face. She hadn't. She'd changed exactly one thing about her blowout. There's one more small habit that locks this in at home. Sleeping on a silk or satin pillowcase preserves that root lift overnight far better than cotton does, since cotton pulls moisture and friction against the hair and flattens it by morning. It's a $5 change with an outsized effect on how long your style actually holds. So the final swap: hair pressed flat and smooth traded for a root lift blow dry with a cool shot set and a silk pillowcase at night. For changes, one appointment's worth of new language to bring with you, and a completely different face looking back at you in the mirror. So here's what you're walking away with: a long layered lob instead of flat length, face framing baby lights instead of flat color, a deep side part with a curtain fringe instead of a rigid center part, and a root lift blow dry instead of press flat styling. 4 specific phrases for specific fixes, and not one of them requires starting over from scratch. You just needed the exact words to say in the chair, and now you have them. Tell me in the comments which one of these four you're bringing to your next appointment first. I read every single one, and I want to know which fix surprised you the most. Next week I'm covering the exact questions to ask before any color appointment, so you never leave the salon disappointed again. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.